Hey everybody, this is Rick. So I want to talk about freedom today. Because freedom is what van life and car living is all about. I mean, that's why people do it. Some people may be forced into living in their vehicles for financial reasons and other reasons. They have to get out of where they're living pretty fast, so they go stay in their car, or their van, or their truck, or whatever they have. But most of us who are living in our vehicles, I think, are there for the freedom. We've realized, I was reading an article about the average price of a house in the United States is about $450,000. Now, who can afford that? I mean, that's a crazy price for a house, right? So naturally, people are looking for alternatives to a $450,000 house. Now, vehicles can be expensive. The average new vehicle these days, it could be $50,000, $60,000, and an electric vehicle could be even more. But let's say you have a vehicle already. It's already paid for. Right? It's an older vehicle maybe. You have a car or a van or a truck that's, 10 years old, 8 years old, who knows. You've already got someplace where you can start living in it. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to pay any rent, right? You're not paying utilities. You're going to pay for gas. You're going to pay for fuel, and you have to maintain your vehicle. Well, let's face it. You don't have any property taxes on a vehicle. So it gives you an opportunity to be free, to feel like you can go where you want, anytime you want. That's freedom. You live in a house, you don't have that kind of freedom. It's a big hassle to buy and sell a house. A lot of money. And then who knows about the neighbors, right? When you're living in your vehicle, you get shitty neighbors, you just move. You can deal with it if you want, but if if it's a bad situation, you just move. So freedom is where it's at. But where you have freedom, you have to make choices. And choices are not easy. In the United States, you have an awful lot of choices. There's choices in food, choices in where you can stay, choices in where you go to the bathroom, choices of what you buy. Everything you buy, you've got a million choices. You go into a supermarket, you got a million choices. You go into Walmart, you got a million choices. That works for me. But some people get overwhelmed by the freedom of choice that you have in this life. And sometimes people get overwhelmed. They can't make a decision. Now, if you're that type of person, you got to stay in one place and take it easy, because choices and making decisions can be overwhelming to some people. They just can't make a decision. But if you like the choice that's out there, if you like going where you want to go, buying what you want to buy in different places, different stores, different environments, different fast food, different restaurants, museums, parks, the choices are unlimited as to a lifestyle if you're living in your vehicle. You can live in the desert, you can live on the plains, you can live in the city, you can live in the suburbs. You got four wheels, you can go wherever you want. That's freedom. So I'm real positive on the van life freedom today. I'm looking forward to getting back on the road. It represents freedom to go out there and see the world. And that's a great thing. And everybody should try it at least once. You never know. You might just get out there and say, you know what? I don't need all these possessions I've got, in every room of my house. I use maybe 3 or 4 things most days, and I don't use the rest of the crap I have lying around the house. So you might want to downsize. You're free to downsize. You're free to get rid of your stuff. Have a garage sale, get some cash, and hit the road. Just an idea. This is Rick, and that's real life. It's real life, especially when your average house in the United States is $450,000. Who can afford that? Let's hit the road. Till next time.